Behind Hollywood's flawless smiles and red carpet glamour lies a truth rarely spoken. In an industry where youth equals power and beauty is currency, the fear of aging can take over. What begins as a simple cosmetic tweak can slowly spiral into a dangerous cycle, leaving lasting physical, emotional, and career scars. These stories aren't meant to judge or shame, but to reveal the hidden price of perfection. Tonight, we look beyond the fame and filters to expose the reality no one wants to face. Before the cameras, before the criticism, before the headlines ever followed her, Donatella Versace made one thing clear: she would never fade quietly. In a culture obsessed with perfect youth, she chose a far more daring path: reinvention. Long before her appearance became a public debate, Donatella believed transformation was a source of power, not insecurity. Her relationship with image began early. At just 11 years old, she started lightening her hair at the encouragement of her brother, fashion legend Gianni Versace. That simple decision sparked a lifelong journey of self-definition built on style, boldness, and visibility. For Donatella, image was never just surface level, it was identity. As the years passed, she openly embraced cosmetic procedures, including Botox, dermal fillers, and advanced skin treatments. The result was a look that rejected subtlety. It was dramatic, unmistakable, and completely her own. Critics were vocal, and opinions were sharply divided, but Donatella never backed down. She rejected the belief that beauty must soften with age or follow tradition. Instead, she chose confidence over approval and individuality over comfort. To her, beauty was never about looking younger. It was about looking powerful and in control of her own narrative. In an industry that rewards conformity and punishes difference, Donatella Versace stands as a reminder that when identity is owned unapologetically, it can outlast trends, criticism, and even the idea of perfection itself. At 47, Bryan wasn't chasing fame, youth, or the spotlight. She simply wanted to feel confident again. In 2009, she agreed to what she believed was a routine facial filler, a subtle touch-up, nothing drastic, nothing dangerous. She trusted it was safe. What followed would change her life forever. During the procedure, Carol was injected with a harmful substance, later reported to contain industrial silicone, a material never approved for cosmetic use. Almost immediately, her face began to swell. The pain was severe, and instead of improving, her condition quickly spiraled out of control. Beneath the surface, permanent damage was already taking place. Doctors tried multiple corrective treatments, but nothing worked. With each failed attempt, Carol's appearance worsened. Slowly, she withdrew from the world around her. She stopped seeing friends, distanced herself from family, and endured overwhelming emotional pain in silence. At her lowest point, she admitted she no longer wanted to live. In 2013, Carol underwent an extremely complex reconstructive surgery that restored limited movement to her face. But the damage was irreversible. Injury to her optic nerve left her blind in one eye, and she now faces a lifetime of ongoing medical procedures and care. Bryan's story isn't about vanity. It's a warning. A powerful reminder that even so-called minor cosmetic procedures can have devastating consequences when safety, ethics, and proper medical standards are ignored. She was once the face of an era confident, radiant, and unforgettable. Lyn May didn't chase fame, she earned it. Born Lilia Guadalupe Mendiola, she rose to stardom as a dancer and actress who defined glamour across Mexico and Latin America in the 1970s. For years, audiences admired her beauty and powerful stage presence. But as time passed, Lyn made a decision that would change her life forever. It wasn't driven by vanity or a desire to look younger. She simply wanted to correct a small facial irregularity she'd lived with since childhood. It felt routine. Safe. Harmless. That trust came at a devastating cost. Without knowing the risks, Lyn placed her faith in the wrong hands. During an unregulated cosmetic procedure, she was injected with baby oil, falsely presented as a safe filler. The effects were immediate and severe. Her face became painfully distorted, and despite undergoing multiple corrective surgeries, the damage only continued to worsen. Fans were stunned, and the entertainment world was forced to face an uncomfortable reality. Lyn May's story wasn't about excess or obsession. It was about deception, lack of oversight, and the dangers of unlicensed cosmetic practices. Her experience stands as a heartbreaking warning. When safety, credentials, and ethics are ignored, beauty can carry a permanent price. Behind every cosmetic procedure lies a responsibility that should never be taken lightly. Before the fame, before the controversy, Pete Burns made one thing clear: he would never be ordinary. As the unforgettable frontman of Dead or Alive, Pete didn't just perform music, he performed identity. And the world couldn't look away. Best known for the global hit You Spin Me Round, Pete became just as famous for his constantly evolving appearance as he was for his voice. What began as a single nose job slowly turned into a lifetime of cosmetic procedures, reportedly hundreds, each one meant to bring his outer image closer to who he felt he truly was inside. For Pete, plastic surgery was never about vanity or chasing youth. It was art, a living canvas, a form of self-expression as vital to him as music itself. But the cost was devastating. Many procedures led to serious complications, infections, and chronic pain, forcing him into repeated corrective surgeries. Doctors warned him. The risks were clear. Still, Pete believed perfection was always just one more change away. Behind the bold makeup and fearless confidence was real suffering, physical, emotional, and unrelenting. His body ultimately paid the price for a vision pushed to its limits. Pete Burns' story exists at the crossroads of creativity and excess, a powerful reminder that when identity becomes inseparable from transformation, the line between self-expression and self-destruction can slowly disappear. She didn't want to look real. She wanted to look unreal. And once Pixee Fox committed to that vision, there was no turning back. Known as one of the most extreme examples of cosmetic transformation, Pixee set out to turn herself into a living cartoon character. This wasn't a phase or a spur-of-the-moment decision. It was a carefully designed identity. Every procedure was deliberate. Jaw reshaping, ear modifications, and, most controversially, the surgical removal of 6 ribs to create an impossibly small waist. Doctors warned her. Many surgeons refused to perform the operations, pointing to serious and potentially life-threatening risks. But Pixee pushed forward. To her, the body wasn't just biology, it was art. A canvas meant to be reshaped, refined, and taken beyond natural limits. To her supporters, Pixee represents radical self-ownership. A woman taking full control of her image and refusing to apologize or conform to conventional beauty standards. To critics, her transformation raises deeper concerns about obsession, exploitation, and where the line between personal freedom and self-harm truly exists. Pixee Fox's story forces an uncomfortable question society often avoids. In a culture that celebrates extremes and rewards shock value, how far do we encourage transformation without protecting the person underneath? And when does freedom stop being empowering and start becoming dangerous? She didn't stumble into fame, she built it, one procedure at a time. Tara Jayne McConchie calls her transformation becoming a real-life Barbie, and from the start, she made it clear this was never meant to be subtle. A social media personality from Australia, Tara had already spent over $85,000 on cosmetic procedures by her early 30s. Multiple breast augmentations, several nose surgeries, endless rounds of Botox and dermal fillers. Her dramatic transformation quickly went viral, bringing global attention and appearances on shows like Botched. Unlike many cautionary stories, Tara has never expressed regret. She openly documents every procedure, treating cosmetic surgery not as a fix, but as a lifestyle, an identity, and a personal brand. Even when doctors raised serious concerns about her health, particularly her low body weight and desire for even larger implants, Tara refused to slow down. For her, transformation equals empowerment, control, proof that her body belongs to her and no one else. But her story goes beyond one individual. It reflects a larger cultural shift where extreme aesthetics are rewarded with views, validation, and influence. Tara Jayne McConchie forces an uncomfortable question. In an attention-driven world, does constant transformation truly empower, or does it simply push the finish line further out of reach? Before the nicknames, before the headlines, before the world decided how to label her, Jocelyn Wildenstein made a choice that would place her at the center of global fascination. Whether admired or criticized, she was impossible to ignore. Known by the media as Catwoman, Jocelyn became one of the most recognizable and controversial figures associated with cosmetic transformation. Her striking feline-inspired appearance fueled years of speculation, debate, and sensational headlines. Yet behind the shock value was a far more layered and complicated story. While many believe her look is the result of extreme cosmetic surgery, Jocelyn has consistently maintained that much of her appearance is natural and influenced by genetics. Regardless of where the truth lies, her image evolved into a cultural symbol, one that forced society to confront difficult questions about beauty, control, and personal choice. To some, Jocelyn represents fearless self-expression, a woman who reshaped herself according to her own vision, untouched by public opinion or traditional standards. To others, she serves as a cautionary figure, illustrating what can happen when cosmetic enhancement goes too far. What keeps Jocelyn Wildenstein's story alive isn't shock, it's the conversation it sparks. Her life challenges us to ask whether individuality should have limits, or if true freedom means the right to exist unapologetically, regardless of how extreme that expression may be. It began with a single procedure, and before he knew it, the world was watching. Jordan James Park never set out to become a headline, but his dramatic transformation made him impossible to ignore. Often referred to as the British Lip King, Jordan is from Birmingham, England, and first gained international attention after a lip enhancement went wrong. That moment led him to appear on the TV series Botched, where many expected him to walk away from cosmetic surgery. Instead, Jordan chose to lean in even further. Inspired by reality star Kim Kardashian, he fully embraced his unconventional look. Over the years, Jordan has undergone numerous cosmetic procedures, including multiple nose jobs, liposuction, chin implants, and repeated lip fillers. He has spoken openly about the physical pain, emotional toll, and the reality that cosmetic surgery can become addictive. Doctors warned him. Critics questioned his choices, but Jordan never apologized. For him, transformation isn't about approval or fitting in. It's about control. Control over his body, his image, and his identity. He has made it clear that these decisions are expressions of personal freedom, not regret. Jordan James Park's story raises uncomfortable questions. Where is the line between self-expression and self-harm? And who gets to decide when someone has gone too far? By refusing to conform, Jordan challenges modern beauty standards and reminds us that personal autonomy often comes with consequences. Behind every dramatic transformation is more than makeup, mirrors, or headlines. These stories go beyond shock value and altered appearances. They expose pressure, insecurity, identity, and the real cost of chasing perfection in a world that rewards extremes. For some, cosmetic surgery became self-expression. For others, it became a painful warning. And for all of them, the line between choice and consequence was thinner than expected. Hollywood celebrates youth, beauty, and reinvention, but rarely talks about the risks when that pursuit goes too far. These stories remind us of one truth. Confidence can't be injected, and self-worth can't be sculpted. Subscribe for more untold Hollywood stories. Like the video and hit the bell, because what's hidden often matters most.